Peace and blessings, everybody, and good morning. Happy Wednesday. How y'all doing today? Um, I know so wee hours of the morning. I just came back from the store for my, cigarette run or whatever the case is. But getting to the meat of the matter because I've seen posts time and time again talking about if a father was home or even a mother was home, things would have been different for the child. Let me tell you something that I'm gonna get to my story. Okay? Even if daddy was home, your child would have been an LGBT member. Your child would have wilded out and started doing the most. Your child's heart would have still blackened and everything that's circumstantial. Your child your child still would have walk into his destiny either way, whether positive or negative. The circumstance and the destinies are the same. Now when it's God's universe, you do something different in every lifetime or whatever the case is. That's God's universe. And sometimes even the devil's universe that do something different in every lifetime or just add to it. Okay? The results still would have been the same. The stars are aligned that way. And I'm just being urban. I'm not really into astrology like that unless it calls for it. Destiny is real. Like, take it from me. My father was absent in my life, you know, and I'm still an LGBT member. I still fight for God. I still do all these things that led to my destiny. At first, I did a video like this, but I had all this makeup on or whatever the case is, and I didn't want the mean girls to comment. Now, we're to get it a little deeper, so I decided to remake the video. So, I remember, besides my father being absent or whatever the case is, when I was in the shelter back in 2010 or whatever the case is, I met my dad decades later or whatever the case is, right? And we met, in Harlem. I was in Wars Island. We briefly talked. He gave me some money, this and this and that. We kept talking on and off or whatever the case is. Now, when I was couch hopping, when I was living in my mom's house, my friend's house, everywhere. When I was living from couch to couch, he was there for it. However, I basically cut him off or whatever the case is, unless I need something. I cut him off or whatever the case is because he said, if I was around, you would have been a man if I was in your life. Now, I was mad at him for years. Years I ain't let that go. Because he literally came from my manhood as if me being an LGBT member makes me less of a man. Whether I was bugged out on my five senses, he told me that, and I heard him loud and clearly. So now I keep my distance from him. You know, that's it. My destiny would have been the same, and honestly, I wasn't meant to be raised by my dad because he would have shown me nothing but war stories. He would have shown me the streets. He would have put me on the strip. Well, I still would have hit the strip, but damn, he would have literally showed me the streets or whatever the case is. I would have been in the streets. He would have not shown me direction. He would have not. He would have not. He would have not done anything positive for me. I praise Jesus that I was raised by my mom's side of the family and raised by my mother, who showed me direction, who told me to reach for the stars. While my dad married the streets early and is still stagnated, no matter how elevated he is. It's so real. I caught my father in the niggas that I caught. I caught my father so many times, I lost count. And every time I catch a nigga that reminds me of my father, I wind up beefing with them. I wind up getting in their face, doing the most. Now, when it comes to me catching my uncle within a nigga, I submitted. You know, my uncle was more of a high valued man. However, he was heteronormative, homophobic. He had an abusive streak, this and that. You know, while the father that I caught in niggas are quick to violate my headspace, this and that. They both violated my headspace, but when I every time I caught my father within a nigga, he was seriously trying to mind fuck me more than my uncle did. And guess what? They both violated my head equally the same. I never I never caught feelings for my father within a nigga. That was more my uncle. And once I removed that face, when it came to true love, everything became smooth sailing. You know? The reason why I put a face when it's true love or even friendship is because you're looking for a family member that you either idolize or what's missing in your life, this and that. However, when you catch that family member within a friend or a relationship, fuck around, wake up from that dream, please. I pray for y'all to wake up from that dream. Because if you keep putting a face on true love and friendship or whatever the case is, and now that you know better, the universe will wash its hands off. The universe will wash its hands with you. Hell, the devil will deceive you. God is a little more understanding. The devil will deceive you and will keep sending your parents and will keep sending your relative this and that because you refuse to wake up from that dream. Whether mommy or daddy was home, whether if you know, you're still a man, you're still a woman, you're still God's royalty. Your destinies will still manifest in the same way. So how about we stop with this toxic masculinity, toxic femininity? Oh, if a mommy was home, if a daddy was home, things would have been different for the child. No, the destinies manifest the same. Like I said, even if I was raised by my biological father, my destiny, all of this, even this, all of this would have manifested the same way. Let's do better, folks. Thank you.